Before Sam Raimi brought Spider-Man to the big screen, before we were taken by Liam Neeson, there was a film about a mysterious creature of the night, a master of disguise. This film was Darkman. Darkman follows the story of Peyton Westlake, a scientist on the verge of creating a synthetic skin formula. On the cusp of a breakthrough, he is brutally attacked and left for dead in a lab explosion caused by the mobster Robert G. Durant and his henchmen. Burned beyond recognition, Peyton is discovered comatose and subjected to a radical medical procedure, which causes his nerve endings to be severed. This in turn causes him to have the strength of 10 men as adrenaline is in constant flux inside of his body, causing violent mood swings. Awakening from his coma, Peyton destroys the restraints inside of his hospital, escaping in a fit of rage. After coming to terms with all that he's lost, Peyton vows to take revenge on those who left him for dead, and becomes Darkman, using his skills and his research to disguise himself and take down each of his enemies one by one, while also trying to find the key to repairing his scars and finding a way back to the arms of his love, Julie. So one of the great things about this film is that this was like Sam Raimi's big break into mainstream movie making. I mean, he had a fuller budget, he was able to kind of go and do what he wants. But the funny thing is that he actually originally wanted to make a film adaptation of the classic pulp hero, The Shadow. And unfortunately that fell through, so he decided instead to make a character all his own. It's got a great visual style. You've got an awesome soundtrack by Danny Elfman, which this was the first time Danny Elfman and Sam Raimi worked on the same film. You also get a standout performance from an up-and-coming Liam Neeson. And it was very appropriate that Universal actually gave Sam Raimi the kind of reign to do this, because this film feels like some of those classic monster movies. And I thought one of the cool things about this was the fact that this film had a lot of big ups in terms of prosthetics, CGI work, and stop motion effects. But it's funny because Sam Raimi took that same nerve shot and put it into the original Spider-Man film that he created, which was always cool. And I always kind of knew in the back of my mind, like, hey, no one else probably knows that this is from this movie, but it's so cool that Sam Raimi has Easter eggs to his own films, and it just was so awesome. And the film was actually moderately successful. I mean, it wasn't a box office bomb, and it was actually a moneymaker. They used $15 million for the budget around, and it actually got around $50 million for it, which is sad because it never actually made a sequel or returned into the big screen. Rather, it actually spawned 2 VHS sequels, which replaced the main actor, Liam Neeson, with Arnold Vosloo as the character. They definitely have that kind of sci-fi channel feel, and they definitely lack the atmosphere and special quality of the actual film and its quirkiness and kind of raw, nerve nature. They also tried to get this created as a TV show with a failed TV plot, which is actually available for viewing on YouTube, although the quality is very, very, very low grade, and if you're trying to make out certain faces and everything, it's probably not going to happen. But I see what they were going for. They made some changes that I was okay with, but then I didn't really like. But I could have totally seen this as its own kind of TV show. And I think it would have thrived on a certain channel or prime time for sure if they had actually took some extra care with it. But alas, they didn't end up doing it. But that doesn't mean they can't do it now. One of the other things that is kind of weird about it is it actually spawned video games and comics too. Most recently, Darkman was seen alongside Ash Williams, who was another brainchild of Sam Raimi from the Evil Dead series, and he fought alongside him to fight the Deadites and everything that were kind of plaguing New York City, as it were, which I thought was pretty cool. But I just remember watching this film and being intrigued but yet terrified at the same time, kind of just watching it and watching it. It's definitely a superhero film and definitely a precursor to what we would get on the tail end of the decade. And I absolutely believe that this was definitely an underrated, underappreciated gem in that respect, because it definitely plays on a superhero trope, some type of tragedy that goes through, traumatic event that causes this dark superhero to kind of take shape. Obviously, more vigilante, more anti-hero, and more violent oriented, and a more visceral take on a kind of modern superhero, and I really enjoy it because of its originality that it brings to the table. If you're a fan of horror, sci-fi, drama, thrillers, this is definitely the movie for you if you haven't seen it. It's highly enjoyable. I give it a 3.8 out of 5 stars, and I can only dream that one day Sam Raimi and Liam Neeson would team up again to actually give it a proper sequel, which I know is never going to happen, but I mean, it would be awesome to see how throughout their careers they've evolved in skill set. It would be a match made in heaven, and I think that they would do so awesome, especially if they got all the team back together, him, Liam Neeson, and actually brought back Danny Elfman to do the score. Off the charts awesome, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that's all the time that I have for today, so thank you so much for joining me on my channel. And guys, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that if you are, you hit that bell button. That way you never miss a moment of my content. But anyway, guys, as always, I'm Jay, so take care, and bye.